Why do sailors on US aircraft carriers wear different colored jackets? Yellow, green, purple, red. Each color represents a specific job on the chaotic flight deck. But one of those colors belongs to the crew with the most dangerous job on the entire ship. They work beside roaring jet engines and handle aircraft loaded with live bombs and missiles. So who are they, and why is their job considered the deadliest? Are you ready? Let's find out. A US aircraft carrier's flight deck is often called the most dangerous 4.5 acres in the world. The nickname comes from the extreme conditions sailors face while launching and recovering aircraft. During high-tempo operations, jets can launch every 30 to 45 seconds, creating constant noise, heat, and movement. Noise levels regularly exceed 140 decibels, which is louder than a jet taking off at an airport, and can cause instant hearing damage without protection. The deck itself becomes dangerously hot as jet exhaust blasts across the surface, sometimes pushing temperatures beyond 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Historically, the danger is real. So to control this chaos, the Navy relies on colored jerseys. Each color represents a specific responsibility: aircraft direction, fueling, weapons loading, maintenance, or safety. On a modern US aircraft carrier, with nearly 500 sailors and dozens of aircraft moving at once, clear communication is critical. This system prevents confusion and keeps operations moving safely. First up are the yellow shirts, the directors of deck traffic. Yellow shirts are the aircraft directors of the flight deck. These sailors guide jets and helicopters through precise hand signals. They guide aircraft like the FA-18 Super Hornet, which produces around 44,000 pounds of thrust from its two engines. Even at low power, that force can knock people down or send equipment flying across the deck. Yellow shirts often stand just meters in front of moving aircraft that weigh over 60,000 pounds when fully loaded. During high-tempo operations, carriers can launch aircraft every few seconds, meaning directors must coordinate constant movement with near-perfect timing. One wrong signal could cause a collision, but moving jets is only the beginning. Next comes launching them. Green shirts operate the powerful systems that launch and recover aircraft on a carrier. Their main responsibility is the catapult and arresting gear, two machines that make carrier aviation possible. On older Nimitz-class carriers, steam catapults fire aircraft down the deck. Newer Ford-class carriers use the electromagnetic aircraft launch system. Green shirts also maintain the arresting wires used when jets land. Aircraft like the FA-18 hit the deck at around 150 miles per hour, and a steel cable stops them in just 2 seconds, pulling more than 100,000 pounds of force. If a cable snaps or equipment fails, the consequences can be deadly. Yet while launches are dangerous, fuel introduces another serious threat. Purple shirts are known across the Navy as grapes. Their job is to manage the massive amounts of aviation fuel needed to keep the air wing flying. On most US carriers, the fuel used is JP-5 jet fuel, a special type designed for naval aviation because it has a higher flash point and is safer on ships. Even so, the quantities involved are enormous. A Nimitz-class aircraft carrier can store more than 3 million gallons of aviation fuel, according to US Navy logistics data. Purple shirts connect fuel lines, monitor pressure systems, and refuel aircraft often while engines are still running. Jet exhaust can heat the deck to over 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and fuel vapors combined with hot engines create serious fire risks. And yet, even fuel crews stay clear of the most dangerous job. Blue shirts are the aircraft handling crew, the sailors responsible for physically moving aircraft and equipment across the crowded carrier deck and hangar bay. On a modern US carrier, the ship can carry 60 to 75 aircraft, including FA-18 Super Hornets, EA-18G Growlers, and E-2D Hawkeyes. Each aircraft can weigh up to 66,000 pounds when fully loaded. These crews attach heavy tie-down chains to secure aircraft during rough seas and use tow tractors to reposition jets within tight spaces. The job demands constant awareness because jet engines can produce tens of thousands of pounds of thrust, and aircraft can start moving unexpectedly during launch cycles. Blue shirts also place wheel chocks to prevent aircraft from rolling on a moving ship. Next, meet the sailors personally responsible for every aircraft's condition. Brown shirts are known as plane captains, and each one is assigned to a specific aircraft. Their job is to make sure the jet is fully ready before it launches. According to the U.S. Navy Aviation Maintenance Administration manual, plane captains perform detailed inspections that cover the aircraft's external systems, fuel status, weapons configuration, and safety equipment. For example, an FA-18 Super Hornet contains more than 20,000 individual parts and complex avionics systems. Plane captains walk around the aircraft before every flight, checking control surfaces, landing gear, and hydraulic lines for damage or leaks. They also coordinate with maintenance teams if something looks wrong. A typical carrier air wing may fly 100 to 120 sorties per day during high-tempo combat operations, meaning these checks happen constantly. Even a small mechanical issue can ground a jet or create a dangerous situation during launch or landing. Coming up, another team watches everything carefully. White shirts serve as the safety supervisors of the flight deck, making sure every launch and landing follows strict procedures. One of the most important roles in this group is the landing signal officer. These officers guide pilots during carrier landings, which many experts consider one of the hardest maneuvers in aviation. LSO monitor each landing from a platform on the side of the ship, using radar systems, optical landing aids, and radio communication. If a landing looks unsafe, they immediately order wave-off, forcing the pilot to take off again. White shirts also include safety observers and quality assurance inspectors who monitor flight deck operations. However, one group handles the most dangerous cargo on deck. Among all flight deck crews, the red shirts, known as aviation ordnance men, handle the most dangerous work. Their job is to move, assemble, and load live weapons onto carrier aircraft. These include AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles, AIM-9X Sidewinders, AGM-88 HARM missiles, and 500 to 2,000-pound JDAM guided bombs used by aircraft like the FA-18 Super Hornet. According to the U.S. Navy Naval Air Systems Command, a single carrier air wing can deliver over 100 tons of ordnance in a single day during high-tempo combat operations. Red shirts move these weapons across a pitching deck, often in darkness and extreme noise, while jets run nearby at full power. One mistake around live explosives could trigger a catastrophic blast affecting the entire deck crew. History proves that. In 1967, during the Vietnam War, a stray electrical surge accidentally fired a Zuni rocket from an F-4 Phantom parked on deck. The rocket struck another aircraft carrying 1,000-pound bombs, triggering a chain reaction of explosions and fires. The disaster killed 134 sailors, injured 161, and destroyed 21 aircraft. Just 2 years later, a similar tragedy occurred on the USS Enterprise in 1969. Heat from a jet engine caused rockets on a parked aircraft to detonate, setting off more explosions. That incident killed 27 sailors and injured more than 300. Every time a fighter jet launches from a U.S. aircraft carrier, it's not just the pilot risking their life. Hundreds of sailors in colored jerseys work in one of the most dangerous environments on Earth, surrounded by jet engines, burning fuel, and live weapons. Which flight deck job surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below.